Wondery's new podcast, Dis and Tell, wades into the glorious mess of celebrity beef. Each episode explores a different iconic celebrity feud and asks, what does our obsession with these feuds say about us? Follow Dis and Tell wherever you get your podcasts. You can listen ad-free on the Amazon Music or Wondery app.
When there's so much that happens, watch what happens. Who cares what happens when there's so much that happens? Hello and welcome to Watch What Crappens, a podcast about all that crap on Bravo that we just love to talk about. I'm Ben Mandelker, and joining me today is the one and only Ronnie Karam. Hi, Ronnie. How are you?
So good today. It's a thrilling day to be a Bravo fan, Ben.
Yes. Happy Salt Lake City reunion day. I feel like everyone's tuning in for this right now. Like, the finale was so huge that I'm sure the ratings for this reunion are going to be through the roof. I mean, already over the weekend, during like the Golden Globes, Jennifer Lawrence was talking about how like the finale. I just saw a video this morning about Megan Thee Stallion talking about the finale. I mean, like, it's everywhere. This is the thing. This is where you want to be in pop culture right now.
This is where it's at. You know where else you're going to want to be? The Golden Crappies, which is our yearly award show for all things Bravo. That's going to be February 17th this year. We're really excited. Tickets are just now going on sale. You can find ticket links at watchwhatcrappens.com. February 17th, it's in Los Angeles. It is at the Palace Theater. You never know who's going to be there. We have so much fun. Come to that. It's already looking like it's going to be a huge party from everybody that we're hearing back from and everybody that's coming. And our nominations special, we did a 2-part nomination special where we went over a bunch of your all suggestions on our bonus episode this week on Patreon. This is also a video, which you can watch on Patreon as well. Find all those links at watchwhatcrappens.com. And thanks to everybody who's already bought tickets. Yasa.
Yasa. It's going to be amazing. I'm really excited for it. This reunion, I'm also excited for. Wow. I mean,
before we start it, can I give a shout out real quick? Sorry, but
do it.
I just want to give a shout out to a couple friends of the pod. We have such talented friends. Brenda Stanley, you are kicking ass with your book, Still Small Voice. Brenda Stanley, Still Small Voice. It's Mormon. It's a mystery. Takes place in SLC. Go read it. I'm reading it. I'm really enjoying it. Also, I used to co-host a podcast called Rose Pricks, which was about Bachelor. It was a Bachelor recap podcast with Stephanie Wilder Taylor. We did that together for like 4 years. She made me laugh so hard. She's a good person and a good friend and a really good writer. She's got so many books out, and her newest one is out now to pre-order. It's called Drunkish by Stephanie Wilder Taylor with an F. Stephanie with an F. So go get it. So both Brenda Stanley and Stephanie Wilder Taylor, congrats on your books, Drunkish and Still Small Voice. People, go buy things. Let's make a difference.
Congratulations. That's really an epic achievement for both people there. So congratulations.
Yeah.
Congratulations to us also for
the book of notes that we took, or for
the
what
book
were
of
you going to
notes.
say?
No, that we wrote a book of notes to get through this reunion. Wow, just wild. It's just so wild. And like, you know, I don't know. I can't even do my usual like pontificating before should we just dive in? Actually, before we dive in, let's talk. Do you want to talk about? Do you want to do it here, or do you want to do it in the episode?
Oh, let's do it when we get to the recording.
Okay, you just let me know. You give me the sign, okay? But we have something special.
Gosh. Well, you know, we've been going a little crazy with the Monica stuff because after our last recap last week, which was the season finale, obviously, we recapped that before it came out. So we hadn't really seen the internet response, which is always good. I really like that because we can't get swayed by any other opinions. You know, it's just whatever we try not to be anyway, but you can't really help it when you read the internet a lot. But guess what I do get obsessed with? Things that come out on the internet. So Monica went a little wild on the internet, and so did Tanisha. They start Everything just started coming out. Tanisha just started receipts. She leaked a bunch of stuff, and it led people to be like, what the hell's going on? When did all of this take place? So in last night's crappy hour, or the other night's crappy hour, we did a Monica timeline as we understand it, as just stuff that we've looked at on the internet with help from Bravo and Blaze account, with Sassy from Bravo Docket podcast, and a bunch of other TikTok people who really put a lot of stuff together and effort. So go listen to that, because there's a lot of really good background information and stuff like that.
Yeah, and it's like a quote unquote living document, because obviously stuff keeps on coming out. But like Ronnie did a great job compiling all the dates so far that at least are out there on the internet. So it's just an easier way to get all the information right there. So yeah, go check out our crappy hour episode, because there's a lot of SLC gossip on there.
A lot.
Really
something we didn't even get to talk about was just this video that was released of Monica and her mother. We talked about it a little bit, I think. Yeah, we did talk about it. It's the video of Monica and her mother. Yeah, we talked about that. And go check it out. It's our Crappy Hour Live. It's out this week on the free feed. If you want to watch the video, you can watch it over on our Patreon. Okay, so let's get started. One of the biggest reunions of the season.
Yeah, huge. So the episode opens up with like a trailer of what's to come, like on this 3-part Salt Lake City reunion. But it was a good trailer. It was really, really good trailer.
It was pretty good. Are you bad leather? Wait, did he say, are you bad weather or leather?
No, he said bad leather. Yeah, no, he said, Heather and Lisa, are you two bad leather? Ha, ha, ha.
Already confused. Don't ever call a Real Housewife leather.
I know. I was like, Andy, you were taking your life into your hands right now.
You've already had Tamara telling you to shut your mouth or whatever this year. You do not need another housewife cursing you out on a reunion. Come on.
You saw the way Heather knocked Angie out of a chair in an effort to get past Whitney to get out of that little bar in Bermuda. You better be careful where you're sitting. You're right next to her. She will knock you out if you call her leather one more time. So anyway, I didn't really take notes on the trailer, because we're gonna see it anyway. So it opens properly with the women arriving in New York City, and they're all getting out.
God, the Statue of Liberty, Haas. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Put your arm down already. Doesn't that hurt? Like, don't you ever feel that? That is such an active statue. I don't like active statues. Put your fucking arm down. Like I'm so over looking at you with your arm in the air like that. Like, we get it. You know the answer. You're always the first one to answer.
It's like a permanent Survivor endurance challenge. Yeah, it's like Statue of Liberty is like, I said, give me your tired and your poor, not your tryhards and thirsty Real Housewives. So
yeah, especially like tired and put it down. Put down your armpit, okay? Stop welcoming to America with your people to America with your armpit. We don't need it. Statue of Liberty. Okay.
Well,
I just make all statues like the Lincoln Memorial or the Lincoln one where he's just sitting down. I just want a sitting statue. Okay.
I want a disappointed statue where a statue just has her hands on her hips and like a look on her face. Like, really?
Her lips pursed with her eyebrows up.
Like I'm literally getting shit on by pigeons, and you are going to take a photo in front of me of my bad hair day.
Yeah. So then we see that, and then we see other shots of New York. Oh, New York, what you've become. Just a shot of the forever not 21 anymore store. It's like, yeah, come on.
And I like, so these SUVs keep pulling up in front of the studio, and they're getting out of the SUVs and walking in. And I just love that there's like a Dunkin' Donuts across the street. I was like, of course, this show, like, you know, if it's New York, these things are everywhere. But just somehow the idea of these women glamorously stepping out of these SUVs while they're just like, Dunkin', you know, I don't know. It's just like, it's so perfect for this show, especially the way the season began.
So as they arrive, they get out of the cars, and then we slow-mo on them kind of walking through the door, and then we hear echoes of what their trauma is for the reunion, coming into the reunion. And Heather's is, I felt like I had to protect her for the fact that she gave me a black eye. And then Meredith arrives and she just like kind of pops out of this is the least benzoed we've ever seen Meredith, by the way. She just like practically skips from the car inside, little pigtails, like,
Well, she's in a city where blazers are, commonly accepted. She's in a very blazer friendly city, so she feels great right now,
Very blazer forward city.
It's a very blazer forward city. She's like, I'm back with my people. So we hear her voiceover. For 3 months, you have sat here and with us and not told us the truth.
I'm putting on lip gloss because I already feel that I'm going to need it for this. So then Whitney's, of course, is not as good. It's just like, you had a secret. Line.
Yeah, her echo asks for a line. Her echo can't remember the thing it's echoing.
Yeah.
When she goes to a cannon, she's like, echo. And her echo's like, echo, line. Huh? You exploited my vagina.
Echo. Line. It's going to make me laugh every time. I'm just repeating exactly what you said.
It is
just funny.
So, Angie, so by the way, Angie
Can we do that again? Remember her thing in season 1? She was basically like when they had that fight at the Top Golf, and she's like, "Wait a minute, can we start over
from the top?
Start over."
So Angie, by the way, poor Angie, they kind of do her dirty on this episode. It's hilarious, but it's so Angie. So when she has her big flashback, she doesn't even get to say most of her flashback. It's like she comes out and you hear Monica being like, Angie, let's talk about your involvement. And hers is, I didn't do shit. That's like a microsecond. They don't even give her a full moment. They didn't even show her holding up the bouquet to throw at Monica.
Well, your notes are better than mine because I just say, Angie just gets to say hi. It's like, hi drivers. Thank you for the ride.
Makes me never want to go home, am I right? Huh? So then Lisa...
Thank you for taking me to the reunion in this Greek NC car.
I don't know if you saw the story today. This is what my life has come to. I don't know if you noticed the story that I posted on our Instagram this morning, but there was a Greek food truck parked near me, and I drove by and I recorded. I go, I am Greek. I was like, this is what's happening now. I see anything that's remotely Greek, and I'm like, Angie.
It's like when Dorinda had her Giovanni moment, which like, Giovanni, yay, Giovanni. And people just kept messaging us pictures in the grocery store of Giovanni yogurt and being like, oh my God, I see Dorinda everywhere. You've got the disease where you see Bravo everywhere. Yeah.
I got the disease.
We've got it. It's a Bravo fans disease,
It's a good disease to have.
I mean, listen, right now the Instacart finally came to my door and it came to my side door and I literally looked at the front door and was like, you exploited my vagina.
To be fair, it was Heather delivering the food, which was really weird.
So then,
wait, can I say something? Can I say something really quickly about that?
Of course.
Someone wrote a message that reminded me of something very funny, which is that you may remember this news story, but when Titanic came out in Utah, there was a video store that famously was offering to edit out the "Paint Me Like One of Your French Girls" scenes from Titanic. It actually made national news. So the person joked that Whitney probably has never even seen that scene, but also that scene is it makes me wonder, is that scene kind of held as high taboo in Utah, to the point where it's part of Utah culture that had to be someone had to edit it out. So when you refer to it in a book, it's really smutty sounding. Just want to put that out.
Oh my gosh.
As a theory.
Maybe. I don't know. I don't know how that culture works, but we sure hear about it a lot.
It's just a good callback to some crazy news story from the 90s. Anyway, that was it.
Yeah. Oh, news. Oh, Titanic. I didn't even really remember that scene as well as you remembered it. I was like, when did they hire somebody to paint her naked in that? Really, all I remember from Titanic, obviously, I loved when the band kept playing as the ship went down. I loved that. I was like, oh my God, now that's a good worker right there. That, we watch a lot of Below Deck with terrible employees, and I was like, those employees, they're dedicated. The boat is literally turning up, nose down, and they're like, no, 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 no. And then when Kathy Bates was in the boat watching all the poor people die, she just passed by and she's like, hi, darling, would you like a ride? I love that. Those are my two favorite parts. Anything else I don't really remember.
Titanic in many ways was the Republic of its time. Those employees really cared.
They really did a OG Bosby, Leah.
Maddie. Leah. Be like, did you hit that iceberg? You're in big trouble, sir. Maddie's DJing on the deck.
Okay, so Monica, when Monica arrives, her flashback is of her finishing out the season by saying, there is so much more to this story, girl. And trust me, you're all going to want to hear
it. So now we see Andy walking out onto the set, which is it's both Bermuda but also snow. It's like snowy Bermuda. It's sort of, I imagine this is what Dorit's Panto looks like in London right now. It's like pirates, but it's also snowy. Peter Pan, both in London and in the Caribbean, and Neverland all at once.
This show also just has the least respect for its cast, I think, of any show. And that's saying a lot. But this show, we see some dirty editing they did with Lisa a little bit later, which we'll talk about now. But also just the fact that they want their cast members to be severely injured. I mean, we had that set that was an ice, wasn't it like a little ice fishing
there was
pool
an ice
or something
pit
in between them that they could fall into?
And there was like a water pit last year.
Was it last year?
I think it was last year.
And then,
no, you know what? Maybe it was 2 years ago.
I think it was supposed to be the ice cave or whatever.
Yeah.
Whatever it was very dangerous. And then this year they have a gigantic anchor, like a life-size anchor, draped off the table for some reason, off the coffee table. I guess because it's supposed to be a shipwreck in Bermuda that got...
Oh, did someone make a perfume out of that table yet?
Say it again.
Did someone make a perfume out of that table yet?
Shipwreck perfume. But stop trying to kill your cast. Like, geez. Hazard pay. Okay, so Andy's like, oh, hi, Meredith. You brought your purse? That is good. That is good, Meredith.
And also, by the way, there was Heather, Lisa, and Whitney were in the elevator holding hands. And Whitney's like, Archangel Michael, please protect us. I'm like, oh, okay. I'm sure this is top priority for Archangel. Archangel.
But also she said Michaels, which I thought was funny. She
now that
she was great. Like, Archangel Michaels, please help us. Like, is it the last name? Is this a different Archangel?
No, it's the store.
Like, yeah, and also Archangel Hobby Lobby. Okay, I love them.
Please send us some pussy willow sprigs to decorate our sofas for the reunion. Save us.
And then she gets to check out, and she's like, "Pussy willow sprigs, you exploited my pussy willow sprigs." For your receipt.
When was the last time you said pussy willow? Gosh.
I avoid that one. I don't like saying that.
Yeah, I don't know what came over me. It just doesn't feel right in 2024 to be referencing pussy willow.
Pussy willow. Change your name already, okay?
Yeah, it's time for a rebrand. It's time for a rebrand. So
yeah. So go ahead.
Yeah. So Meredith comes on stage with a purse. And she's like, "Well, I brought a purse because I have a lot of notes, and also I have some emergency baby food in case my toddler Brooks shows up. So some Gerber in there in tow."
So everyone starts showing up to the set, and Andy's like, "Oh my God, you're wearing clothes too! Wow!" And then Heather gets her main seat, but then we get Survivor drums as Monica comes. It's like,
so good.
And we see Monica coming down in her koa dress, presumably.
And she comes down a staircase. I firmly believe that Bravo built that staircase just that way she could come down it. Like, this is not a 2-story set, but they were like, we need her to have
exactly
a dramatic, like, we can't afford a grand staircase, but we can afford a rickety staircase. So let's give her
those
that.
were 100% backstage, like stairs to the flies, you know, or the lighting grid or whatever in theater. Like
That
there's
is
no
100%.
dressing room up there.
It's like, yeah, that is 100% what that was. So then we see the control room. It's like 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Push 1. Go, Andy. Hey! Welcome back to the Real Housewives of Salt Lake City Season 4 reunion. I'm Andy Cohen, still reeling from an explosive season and jaw-dropping finale that left us all feeling trapped in the Devil's Triangle. So, by the way, question for the Devil's Triangle. How big are your boobs?
The devil, who it turns out went to the triangle to get its eyes done. Love your eyes.
Devil's Triangle, more like Devil's Big Circles. Big jugs. The Devil's jugs.
It's time for a commercial. It's time for a Crappens commercial.
I always like to begin the year by clearing out my closet, but this year I'm also upgrading it with pieces that will last beyond the season from Quince.
Quince creates timeless essentials that never go out of style. You'll have them in your closet forever.
Quince has all the must-haves like 100% Mongolian cashmere crew neck sweaters from $59, 100% leather jackets, and fitted pants.
And Quince only works with factories that use safe, ethical, and responsible manufacturing practices, along with premium fabrics and finishes. I love that.
I got a beautiful wool jacket from there. I look so handsome. Like, everywhere I go, people are like, oh my God, you're so hot. And I'm like, Quince. Thanks, Quince.
Yeah, I have a really cool overshirt, and I also got a really chic bracelet. And honestly, I felt very stylish, which is a rare thing for me.
Upgrade your closet with Quince. Go to quince.com/crappens for free shipping and 365-day returns on your order. That's QUINCE.com/crappens to get free shipping and 365-day returns. Quince.com/crappens.
Being an actual royal is never about finding your happy ending. But the worst part is, if they step out of line or fall in love with the wrong person,
it changes the course of history.
I'm Arisha Skidmore-Williams.
And I'm Brooke Ziffrin.
We've been telling the stories of the rich and famous on the hit Wondery show Even the Rich, and talking about the latest celebrity news on Rich and Daily. We're going all over the world on our new show, Even the Royals.
We'll be diving headfirst into the lives of the world's kings, queens, and all the wannabes in their orbit throughout history. Think Succession meets The Crown meets real life.
We're going to pull back the gilded curtain and show how royal status might be bright and shiny, but it comes at the expense of, well, everything else. Like your freedom, your privacy, and sometimes even your head. Follow Even the Royals on the Wondery app or wherever you get your podcasts. You can listen to Even the Royals early and ad-free right now by joining Wondery Plus.
So he tells them, wow, I've heard that none of you have been together as a group since filming stopped. And Monica's like, well, I feel like they were together without me. Oh, really? Are we going to start on this victim note? Like, you just can't imagine why nobody would want to hang out with poor Monica.
I know. And he's like, yeah, right. That's what I'm pointing out. We talk slowly
Monica,
like that.
You're here. And the point is up here above your head, okay? You need to go to the Bermuda Triangle and get the point lowered. Okay, get it lowered.
Well, we have a lot to go through tonight, and we will get into what happened at the finale. But before we get into the season, I want to mention the Jen Shaw of it all. She's running a jail somewhere. If anyone wants to join me all together, ha, ha, ha. Anyone?
So they're saying, were you worried about doing the show without Jen? And Heather's like, I was just worried that people were going to be addicted to the level of toxicity. No one watches these shows for toxicity. Meanwhile, their ratings just probably broke their record.
Yeah.
Because of basically the toxicity. Okay, listen.
Literally the most. Toxic.
It's like I tell M&Ms, I'm with you for the toxicity. Don't come out with an organic M&M. I'm never going to fucking eat it. I'm into you for the artificial flavors. Okay? That's why I want you.
Is there an M&M an organic M&M on the horizon?
No, but don't fucking do it. You know what's coming. Don't you feel like it's coming?
There probably is going to be some sort of annoying M&M, but you know what?
We can't say Pussy Willow anymore. Next thing they're going to do is fucking make M&Ms organic.
First they came for the Pussy Willow, then they came for the M&Ms. I'm just gonna say M&Ms as much as possible because apparently we mentioned Pepto-Bismol at one point, and Pepto-Bismol sent us care packages as a thank you, which we didn't even realize we were doing. So I'm just hoping that if I say M&M enough, that we get an M&M care package also. So I'm gonna put that out into the universe.
Pepto also gave me a karaoke mic, so
they did.
It's like I have
the rose gold
and love to sing.
Yeah. This way.
Well, why did I say that?
No,
how are we supposed to shout out Pepto-Bismol without talking about pooping?
Listen, no, it's saying, look, now because you don't have to go to the bathroom, you can sing your songs.
I'll sing it on the pot. It's a karaoke. I think it's a karaoke mic that I can do that with. I'm not above singing on the pot. Why the hell not?
I feel like having a karaoke mic, a wireless karaoke mic near the pot is not always a great idea. I don't think that needs to be broadcast. Echo. Line.
So it's Whitney.
I want to dance with somebody. I want to feel the line.
Can we start that again?
Is that the mic? Is that the mic responding to Whitney? The mic becomes
forgetting its line too in the toilet.
The mic, as spoken by Chris Samuels, has become sentient
in the toilet. Okay, no need trying to save that one, everybody. Let's just move on.
We're gonna put that one on social, everyone. So Heather,
no one wants to hang out with Monica after finding out that she was reality Von Teese, and she's shocked, you guys. So Andy's like, yeah, that's the point. So he goes, okay, well, we'll get into what happened after the finale, but before the season, I have to mention the Jen Shaw of it all. Oh, I already asked this question. We've answered it. Let's move on. Thank you again, Pepto-Bismol. Love your boobs. Okay, let's start at the beginning. Monica stepped out and rented a Range Rover right into drama with the 1%.
And so we see a video package of Monica's life and everything, which sort of ends with Lisa being like, she just wants to be me. So Andy's like, do you want to be Lisa? She's like, no, girl.
So, do you want to be Lisa Monica?
And so Andy's like, well, you know what's good? My voice is now suddenly very Andy. You know, I thought it was really touching and honest when you cried to your mom about worrying about feeling left out and the labels and buying the purse. Well, was that important for you to share? Andy, it was not touching. It was hilarious. Please do not make this seem like it was a vulnerable moment. When you cried about that purse, I just want to fit in. I bought Louis Vuitton purse. I just want to fit in. That was one of the most ridiculous moments of the season.
And one of the best, too. And I love that it's like, why was that important to share? Because that's why you hired her. It's her storyline. She's the poor one. Okay, are we pretending we haven't been here before? So she's like, it wasn't about the bag. It was about entering this group of women as an outsider looking in because they look flawless and their homes are beautiful and they're married and their kids are successful. And you just look at it from the outside and you're like, what am I bringing? I'm just a whore. I'm a whore who's gone through divorce and I live in a 3,000 square foot home. Okay, so Monica is doing this whole thing where she's like, look at me. I'm just going to be so honest that it hurts. But then in my research of looking up stuff for the timeline, her home is 1,200 square feet, not 3,000. So why are you acting like, oh my God, look at me, just the poor one, but then over doubling the size of your house in your example?
She's like, listen, I don't want people to think I'm Gina poor. So
it's like,
I'm a whore, a kind of semi-poor whore. Richer than Kirkensnatter, but still.
I never said I was the best mother in the world. Give me some credit for trying. So, I mean, the fact that she said that I'm just some whore with 4 children and divorced, I was like, oh my God, please just inject it into my veins. So,
seriously, I mean, this really is good. This really,
This is like some of the
has been
best.
fantastic.
This is like made for the gays, by the gays. Icon.
This icon. Yeah, this is icon.
And
I'm shaking. I'm trembling right now. Ben, hold on. I'm trembling. Okay, go ahead.
Give her a float. So Andy's like, so why were you so annoyed about Lisa carrying on about the $60,000 ring? I mean, I have to assume if you had lost a ring, LOL, like your chime card could afford it, you'd be freaking out about it too. And she's like, oh, Lisa. She's like, Lisa had like every like right to be upset about like losing her ring, but like what I didn't like was like $60,000.
Oh, yeah. You'd be upset that you lost something that costs more than your house, woman in a shoe. Okay. And I only said the price 3 times. And, you know, like, here's why it's a big deal. Okay. Here's why it's a big deal. Henry almost died after we had him. And John gave me that because I didn't know if I could have more kids. And I know it's more than just a ring. It's a Henry ring. I look at it and I think of my 2 beautiful babies. Hold on. Andy, could you open a window? There's nothing better than Lisa Brello. By the way, there is nothing funny about almost losing your child. I'm not laughing at that. I'm just laughing because it's like, I only bragged about my $60,000 ring 97 times because of a trauma. Lisa, seriously? I love that did they even show the clip of her just going, oh my God, where's my ring? It's 60,000. It's 60,000. Remember when we're leaving the airport and she made the crossing guard? She's like, yes. Officer, I lost my ring. It was 60,000. It's like, leave the fucking crossing guard of the airport alone, ma'am.
Yeah, what you're supposed to say is it's $20. No one steals it if they find it. So Monica's like, well, girl, that was like beautiful girl. I didn't know that. And Lisa's like, well, it was no one's business. And Monica's like, well, I'm just saying. And she's like, I was stressed because to me, it's a symbol. And Monica's like, well, you know, like I thought you had said that you had just bought it though. Like, what are you even talking about? She's like, no, I said it was sentimental. Like my first can of Diet Coke.
Actually, how she says it, she goes, it was sentimento. It was sentimento. I love Lisa's accent coming in sometimes. Like there are some things where it's like sentimento. The fuck? So then she's like, listen, here's the thing. I get different rings for different things at different times. And that was not what I just gotten. Okay? That was not what I just gotten. Okay? These are the ones that I just gotten. These are the ones. She holds up her hand. Yes. She's got all these brand new diamonds. I love that Lisa's like, it was just trauma. Now these are non-trauma diamonds.
Yeah, like how could you accuse me of being materialistic? These are the rings I have that are new. That one was sentimental. I'm not materialistic at all. Also, what is this country song that she came up with? I get rings for different things at different times. That I was like, I'm just waiting for like a little guitar on the side, you know, and a little ditty.
That one I had just gotten. That one I had just gotten.
I get different rings for different things. It's sort of like I got friends in low places, I guess, in my mind. I get rings for different things. I love that.
So then Monica's like, well, at the airport, like he's asking me a question. I'm saying that's why I was annoyed because you kept saying 60, 60, 60. And Lisa's like, I was like, listen, I was like very stressed. And so for me, it was like more than just a ring. Like, it doesn't mean that I'm not relatable to the middle class, or that like, I think that I'm part of the 1%. Like, who am I to do percentages? You know, what is middle? Middle class are poor people, right?
It doesn't mean I'm not relatable to the middle class. I understand things like, having Toyota Tercels and, white refrigerators and, shopping at Kirkland. That's a place, right? I understand these things. I'm totally relatable.
One time, I stole a pair of roller skates to trade it for a loafer of bread for my family. So, I got
Sometimes I go to Panera Bread and just give out quarters to people waiting in line. I totally relate to the middle class.
So Monica's like,
Well, you're right about that. I never said you're one part of the 1%. You're right.
and she goes, "Oh, okay. Oh, so now you're trying to you're trying to dig at me?" And she's like, "No,
No, what? I'm just trying to say, like, I did research and now I understand the 1%. Like, why are you saying I'm trying to ding you?
like like stabbing someone and then being like, "What? How could you accuse me of something?" I mean, this lady
'cause-
really is kind of perfect for this.
I know. And she's like, no, she's like, girl, I did research on like what the 1% is. Like the 1% is like Shaquille O'Neal. I was like, really? Like I mean, everyone just laughs because it's such a bizarre reference for the 1%. Like, yes, he is the 1%, but like Shaquille O'Neal, and everyone's just like, okay. Heather's like, okay, yeah, I'm glad Shaquille O'Neal got into the 1%. You know, not my financial guru, like Jeffrey Bezos. Sure. Shaquille O'Neal, why not?
I mean, Shaquille O'Neal is rich as fuck, and he's still doing like huge campaigns. So don't know why everybody's dissing Shaquille. Okay, the Shaq
I know.
has still got it going on. Okay, he's still on television hawking something.
He's talking basketball.
Oh
As
yeah,
is
he
his
does. I
specialty.
wouldn't know. I don't pay attention. This is my.
You're like, I love his cooking show.
No, he is in some like commercial right now. I forget what it is.
He's always in commercials. He does Icy Hot, and he's always doing like, I'm Shaquille O'Neal for. It's always something random like Sir Tiles or M&M's.
Oh my God, do not go organic. Okay, so Andy's like, so, Monica, where do you think the rumors came from that you stole the ring? And we say, boom, deux moi. Allegedly, all the snowflakes are sure that the broke snowflake stole the piece of snowflake jewelry in the snow from snowballs and flakes of snow. Ding, ding, ding.
And so she's like, I think it started over there, meaning the other couch. And Lisa's like, nah, it didn't start with me. Because I'm in the 1%, so I can't be bothered with this, right? So, and Heather's like, what, you think that I started the rumor? That's horrifying.
And Monica says, yes, she thinks it's Lisa and Heather. And she's like,
Let me ask you this. Why didn't you go online when you saw all the rumors started and say, I don't think Monica did that?
because they had already shot with you and no
They
one's
hated
going
you?
to come stand up for you online. What are you talking about? Why in the world
Like-
would she?
I mean, it is so rich. And this point is sort of like nailed home a little bit later, but it is so rich that here's Monica, part of some sort of troll account cabal that has spent 4 years putting out videos about Jen Shaw and saying all this other stuff about the cast. And now here she is being like, rumors about me. Like, I can't believe these vicious rumors about me. Like, it is so rich. And by rich, I mean, Monica rich.
It's not really Lisa
Not Gina
Barlow
Rich.
rich, but it's up there.
It's like 70% rich. And the 70% percentile, no, wait, how's it go? 70 percentile is high. 1% in non-percentile is high. I'm going to stop. Echo.
Line. So I got confused. I was like, finances, no. So Lisa's like, that's not my job to do that. And Heather goes, maybe I didn't stand up for you because that's what I thought. But I didn't say it. Monica's like,
Thank you. Thank you for admitting that you think that I would steal something.
And Lisa's like, what? There are people that like watch your behavior. And Monica's like, yeah, you would think that I would steal like a $60,000 ring from y'all? I'm like, literally, Monica, yes. Your storyline is that you're poor and you've gotten off by getting like justice against all these women, specifically Jen Shaw, but it seems like you've gotten off with like unmasking the other women too. So yeah, it does. Like, I'm not saying I believe it, but like, it's not a wild thought. Like, a lot of people came to that conclusion that Monica stole the ring without having to read a gossip rag. A lot of people are like, well, Monica probably stole it.
yeah, I think that Monica's gotten in a lot of trouble for stuff this year, but I don't think she stole.
I don't think she stole it either. I don't think she would do that. But
And when I first read it, I was like, "Ew, how dare you!" From people commenting about that online. That said, it was a lot of comments of people like, "Of course, the poor person stole it," which is,
mean to poor
horrible.
people.
Have none of you seen Les Miserables? Like, can we please get some like?
That's a terrible
empathy in here?
example. That's a terrible example. That's literally built a story about a guy who steals a loaf of bread.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Oh, you're saying, well, but that means you're suggesting that she stole a loaf of ring.
Well, I'm saying you should be more empathetic, even if people did steal something. Like, haven't we learned empathy? Like, Les Miserables, like feel things for people who need the bread. You know what I mean? Like,
Okay,
that's what
okay, I get it. Listen,
24601.
I don't think she stole. I really don't think she stole it, but I don't think it was like a crazy theory for some people. Like,
I just don't think anybody should expect anyone in the cast, after what we just saw in the season finale, to come be like, oh, wow, Monica would never,
Yeah.
Like, I don't know, give it a minute.
So Lisa's like, she's like, first of all, my ring was $58,000, just to be clear. So $50,000.
Okay.
Thank you, Lisa. That took you out of a bracket there. Thank you. So I'm really down to 2%. I'm like $2,000 less, worth $2,000 less. So just putting that out there. I'm no Shaquille O'Neal, and like it just like doesn't feel the same. Like I've got a new one, doesn't feel the same. I don't think it's the same. It looks good. I liked my other one. I want my other one back. Okay.
Well, plus taxes. So then that's probably like what, $580? So it was like $59.80. So close, but still not 60. I really missed a 60 ring. That was $60,000. I love this show because they're all wrong and they're all right. It's like you want to stick up for Lisa, but God, she is an asshole. And it is nice to see Monica calling her out the whole season, because that behavior was fucking annoying when she kept sobbing and throwing a fit about her damn $60,000 ring.
Yeah. So Monica's like, why are you looking at me when you say that? Okay, this is really damaging. It's easy and it's stereotypical. And Lisa's like, what's stereotypical about it? She's like, okay, go ahead and laugh, Angie, because Angie's on the side, but like, ha 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 ha. I'm Greek.
She's like, it is not stereotypical big mouth. And Monica's like,
Laugh it up, Angie. You're going to say I stole your ring because I have less than you, so I'm going to steal?
and she goes, she didn't even say you stole it. She's like,
Oh, why are you talking? Shut up. Why are you even talking, you bench-warming bitch?
I'm like, whoa.
Oh, wow. And she's like, really? You're so classy, Monica. You're classy.
Kappa, classy, Monica.
You really think you're classy, but guess what's classical? Greek culture.
This doesn't involve you, just like most of the season.
And she's like, what did she say? And Heather's like, she said like the rest of the season. She says, oh, but she talked about me from the beginning to the end. I made a Greek salad with my Greek father. How dare you?
Monica's like,
Lisa, I never took your ring, girl. And I didn't even go into that bathroom until like 20 to 30 minutes after you lost your ring. Girl.
Well, early on, you talked about your connection with Jen Shaw. Monica, were you friends with Jen Shaw? And she's like,
Well, I would describe it as we were friends first, and then I was like, quote unquote, working for her, and then I guess enemies.
so what did you specifically do for her? What was your job exactly?
Honestly,
Okay, when Monica starts with the honestly, which she does every time, just note it and validate it. And I think it's when most of us say honestly. I think that is definitely...
it's like the most dishonest precursor of all time.
Yeah.
Honestly.
everything in her life, like looking back and knowing everything that I know now, I mean, I like get it, because like I think I was more of a friend, I was really a good friend to her. Like I would go get her groceries. I would make sure she was on time for her meetings.
It's like literally never had a friend who did that. You were working for her. Just say you were working for her. You can't have it both ways. You can't come on the show saying, oh, I used to work for Jen, and then be like, I didn't work for her.
I also love that she's saying, yeah, my job was, I basically was just a friend to her, while she's like actively trolling her and using all the content like against her on a burner account. Like that is what's so funny about her saying that for me. And
because it was literally at this moment that she was doing all that stuff, like right when she started with them. I mean, the timeline was it was like September when she supposedly met all them at Meredith's store, I think is the first solid timeline we have. And then by November, she had created the Reality Von Teese account. So, I mean, she was already, you're right. She's like,
I was just like a friend to her, running her groceries while I was
posting her abusive things online, which again, this is always tricky, right? Because it's like you're a hero in a way for posting all of that Jen shit. Because Jen, let's never underestimate in all of this what a fucking monster Jen is.
Commercials. Here comes one right now.
But it's weird because so then Andy basically is like, and Andy says, was the show filming? And she says, yeah, you guys had already filmed season 1.
She
and he goes,
I think. She's like,
I think
maybe you had already started film.
You didn't know? Jen Shaw didn't let you know? Okay.
You know. And then Andy was like, was she paying you? And she goes, no. And he's like, so you were taking time away from your kids for a job that didn't pay? And Monica was like, yeah. So it's just so funny because Monica, at a different part of the season, she uses that like you don't know what it's like to be abused, to be abused when you're not even getting paid, and almost suggesting like the abuse was that she wasn't getting paid. Like, I was going through all this stuff and I wasn't even getting paid. Like, that's abuse. But here she's saying it like, yeah, no, I wasn't being paid. I just did it because I was being a friend to her. It was like a weird, strange take she has on this.
Well, she's trying for some reason not to say she was actively one of Jen's employees for whatever reason, even though she said it multiple times. Yeah, I don't know if it's a legal thing, like she'll get in trouble for saying that she actually made money from Jen because that was ill-gotten gains. So I don't know.
Maybe she's afraid it'll get taken away.
Right. So I don't know. And that's just a guess. I have no idea. But it is weird that she keeps waffling on that throughout the season because... And this is just something online. I don't even think it was from the show. And I don't remember, so maybe I shouldn't say it. But I thought one of her things was like Jen was always behind paying them. Like she owed them a bunch of money or something, the employees.
Right.
But
yeah,
that could be.
And it's weird because there was an argument in the season where Monica said, like, I didn't work for Jen. Like, you have to get paid to work for someone. So now she's saying I did work for her, but I wasn't getting paid. So,
right.
I don't know.
So let's see here. So Andy talks about the connection with Jen, blah, blah, blah. She thinks they were filming. She wasn't paid. I just put she's lying. And then Monica says,
honestly, yeah, she was just my friend.
So Heather's like, oh, so you didn't just think that you were going to be like Kim Kardashian, who started out as an assistant and then look where it got her. So I'll be an assistant too. Like, well, that's like literally not terrible, though. I don't know what the accusation is. There are probably a lot of people who did that.
I know. It's like saying like, oh, so are you saying you want to put yourself on a trajectory? Really?
So you made an effort to get one of your goals?
You made an effort to take an entry-level job hoping that it would elevate you onto a career path? Wow.
And so Heather's like, actually, I would like to hear something that you said. And she reaches under both of it's like when we wake up in the middle of the night, we forget which pillow we put the phone under. You know, you're like, but she finds it and she whips it out. And Monica's like,
oh, I would love for you to read it. I'd love. And Andy's like, oh my God, it's an audio recording.
And
a good quality one, too, I'd like to add, by the way. Well done, Heather. Well done.
It is very good. And it's I believe that these were in the Tanisha leaked voice memos or whatever, because she sent Tanisha a bunch and Tanisha saved them all and released them last week. So this is one of them. It's not the ones that I have, but it says,
fucking Kim Kardashian, what? She was the fucking assistant. And I take one look at that bitch. Now I can fully admit I was putting up with that shit as a stepping stone. Yeah, girl. Yeah.
I was like, wow, this is really the end solving the mystery. Are you saying that you wanted to be like Kim Kardashian? No. Here's the audio.
I'm just like Kim Kardashian.
I know. And then Andy's like, and this proves what exactly? She was doing it to get on the show? And I was like, She's like, that's exactly it.
Yes. So before we go on with this, do you want to hear? Let's listen to the voice recordings that Tanisha released. It's weird to start because they're all kind of lumped together with no context. And at first, I don't really know what they're talking about, but it's still fun to listen to all of them. Just because it's, I don't know, because it is kind of wild.
It's a minute and 51 seconds worth. If you don't want to listen to voicemails, just hit fast forward a few times. But they're interesting because when you hear them, you're like, oh, what interesting foreshadowing for what happens on the season. Okay, I'm gonna hit play.
Girl, I know. That's exactly why I called her a snake. Like, you dumb bitch. Like, low-key, I want to DM Mary from, like, a burner account. She probably wouldn't ever see it. And just be like, bitch, I could do it from Reality Von Teese. Okay? But anyway, because we know she'd be watching that shit. And she would open our messages. And just be like, just so you know, Julian, one of our followers fucking said that she said everything. Just so you fucking know. Bitch, that girl is a fucking dirty rat. She's a rat. One of these types of things. Bravo will not touch you again with a 10-foot pole. And that's exactly what I was saying. I'm not trying to ruin my credibility or name or future like that. Bitch, what happens if fucking Lisa Barlow or Meredith Marks somehow, we don't know, okay, we got in with Jen, we would never be able to do that again. Because, like, look, at the end of the day, my goal is to be a star, bitch. Kind of joking, but also kind of serious. Like, I don't want to ruin my chances for ever being on a Bravo show. Hello. No! You guys, I think I might drive up to Park City because the movers are coming today. What do you guys think? Should I do it to record for, like, BTS Reality Von Teese footage?
Yeah, that was it.
That's it. So that's her, saying she's going to go do the stalking Jen Shaw thing for the BTS footage. Tron.
So I think for me personally, the most damning part about that, I mean, there's a lot of stuff that's like, oh, this is not a good look. But the thing that's most damning is when she literally says, I think we should make a burner account and message Mary. And I could just do it with Reality Von Teese. But she's basically saying, like, let's make a burner account, message Mary, and we'll say that one of our followers said this and da-da-da-da-da-da. But, like, she expresses, like, clearly this isn't her pattern of behavior. And even though she jokes about it in the season, like, that's something I would do. But, like, she literally would do it. She literally would come up with a burner account to get some information out there. And that's really damning, vis-a-vis the Greek mafia fight, the great Greek mafia fight of 2023.
Now, isn't it? It's also just listening to those and watching this show. It really is kind of amazing in a way because you can hear the excitement in her voice. I mean, she is just thrilled. And also she's doing this with her friends. Presumably these are, I guess they are, not presumably, they are all to Tanisha that Tanisha saved, but they're doing, it's like they have a group project. You know what I mean? It's like, oh my God, I work for her now. And now we're getting all this secret footage of her. And now we have this secret account. Oh my God. Should I go get secret footage in front of her house for the secret? It's like
Mean Girls.
It's Looney Tunes, but it's also a group event. I feel like things feel less crazy when you're in a group. Like when you look at a cult, how last year was all cult documentaries or Mormonism, or this show is kind of
season 2.
Yes.
Or season 2 of this show with Mary. Go on.
Oh yeah. It's been in the pop culture, in the pop culture. We are a pop icon a lot lately, cults. And they seem less crazy, I think, when you watch these documentaries because people are in a group and it just feels less nuts when you're in a group. And I think that you can really hear it. And in a way, I'm like happy for her because she's just so excited and they have a group project and like they're doing so good. I mean, they've made it this far. They're taping Jen. She has no idea. They're posting all this stuff. No one has any idea. I mean, it must be so thrilling for her and them to be getting away with all this stuff. And now fast forward, she's got the first seat on this show that she's been trying to worm her way into this whole time. And people hate her and people are, telling her off the whole time, but she's literally the entire reunion. I mean, listen, no matter what you think, well done on your goals.
Well, that's why I said it's like Mean Girls, like the story of Mean Girls. I'm not saying that they are. I'm not being literal like Mean Girls. I'm like the actual movie Mean Girls, right? Is that like Katie is like an outsider, and then she and like the outsiders are all like infiltrate the cool girls, and then she does, and then she gets in too deep, and like that's literally what happened here. Like I don't like the stuff when she's like I'm gonna be a star, or like I'm not gonna do something that would stop me from being on Bravo. That it all sounds kind of like wild. I don't necessarily hold that against her because hello, that's the origin story of every single Real Housewife. Like you don't just some of them wind up on the show by accident, like Jenna Lyons or something, where they don't really know what they're doing. But like they all, you can't act like all these people are not like praying that they get picked up again for another season. Like they all want to be on Bravo. They all want to be a star.
I mean, all of the shows. I mean, my God, especially right now that we've got a glaring example of is Southern Charm. I mean, Southern Charm, you've got JT who had his ex who was on TikTok saying, oh yeah, JT has been stalking these people for years. Like he literally lived in like a van down by the river or something. And tried to infiltrate this friend group to the point where he got on the show, so.
Right. I guess maybe where the line is that like people want to be stars and they want to be on Bravo. But in the case of Monica, she faked it to get that far. But the weird thing with Monica is that faking it is her most authentic self, right? Like the most authentic version of Monica is that she fakes her way through life, right? She changes her name. She has all these stories. She is kind of like a conner. She is like a professional internet troll. Okay, so her faking her way onto Bravo is the realest thing that Monica can do.
Yeah, and there's all these books that have come out, like Brian Moylan's book and Dave's from People Magazine. Dave, why can't I come up with Dave's last name from People Magazine? Anyway, I love you, Dave. We'd love you. The behind the scenes books on the Real Housewives, like Not All Is Diamonds and Rosé is his book. And then Brian Moylan's book that was like behind the scenes of all that and all these interviews and all this stuff and all this effort people are making to putting like a behind the scenes of a reality show. Here it is. It's like,
honestly,
oh my God, that's a lot of work to get on, So no matter what you really think of Monica, at some point you just have to be like, yay, you know what? It's a new year and we can all give you a pat on the back for like goal achieving.
Yeah. So Andy is like, okay, so he's like, so were you being Jen's assistant to get on the show? And Monica's like, well, first of all, I didn't even think I would even ever wind up on the show, but like, why wouldn't I try to get on the show? Okay, I applied like everyone else. And then like Heather's like, she's like, well, I'm clarifying that I don't think you were a friend. I think you had an agenda. Which, hello, like, welcome to your show. Everyone on the show has an agenda. This is one of the most agenda-y shows on Bravo. They always have an agenda on this show. So
Monica's like, no, I didn't. When I met Jen, I didn't even know she was on the show. I didn't even know. Which, yeah,
that's bullshit.
Come on now. Do you think Jen kept that a secret from anity that she was on the show? Come on.
I mean, we definitely just like let Monica off the hook. We're like, look, she's just doing fulfilling the American dream. But also, Monica is full of shit too.
It's both things. You know what I mean? It's all things at once. That's the tricky thing about Monica. It's like, she's an asshole. Like, you can see everything that she's doing. You can see her compulsively lying. You can see all this stuff. But we've said it a million times this season. Like, at the same time, she's still also a really charismatic person. And you're rooting for her. You know what I mean?
To die for. She's like Nicole Kidman and to die for. So Andy's like, well, as the situation went on with her, are you comfortable saying that you thought, oh, maybe I'll get on the show as a result of it? And Monica's like, she's like, honestly, when I applied to get on the show, I applied like everyone else. And Angie's like, I did not apply. I was referred through DemeterCasting.net. Aphrodite casting offices.org.
Lisa's like, oh yeah, and I helped bring the show to Utah, so I didn't apply either.
It's like, okay, well, whatever. Like, anyone now would have to apply. So that's what I did.
And Heather's like, but how? And Andy says, so you talked to casting? And she says, I emailed. And then she does the finger typing. She's like,
I emailed casting, just like everyone else did.
And Heather goes, oh, really? And what did you say in casting? Obviously leading the witness,
Yeah.
And Monica falls for it.
Yeah.
Every time. She's like,
Mommy said my name is Monica Fowler. And your show is shit, and your ratings suck, and it's gonna get canceled because you don't have the right cast. Bitch! That's what I said. And fuck you too. And you're ugly, you old fucking stupid show. Your fucking kinkles are falling below your feet, stupid.
So that elicits a reaction from Andy. Andy has sort of like a whiplash reaction that he does every now and then where he like whips his head back and he sort of blinks 3 times like, whoa. I can't believe you would say that. So, yeah, Monica's like, yeah, you didn't have the right cast. And he goes, oh, so did it suck? The ratings sucked? And then we see on screen it says Monica's actual email, which is like,
hi, reaching out in regards to your casting call. I would love more information on what needs to be done or like how to move forward. And like, you guys need a feisty, excommunicated Latina on the show immediately. I'm your girl.
It's like very nice. And by the way, it was also, she sent this email in November 2021. That was in the middle of season 2 of the show, which season 2 was an epic season. That was the season where Jen Shaw got arrested and everyone was riveted watching it. So when she says the show was boring and was doing poorly in the ratings, like it clearly was not when she did this.
right. And this is also, this email is November 1st, I believe they say. November 1st of what, 2021?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so that's a year after she started, or they started, whoever started, all of them started the Reality Von Teese account. It's like exactly a year later almost.
Add that to the timeline.
Yeah. So let's see here. So this was the same month. Koa was video. Okay. Blah, blah, blah. Okay. So Andy has a lot of viewer questions. He's like, so a lot of people had a question about your friend in the Secret Service telling you there's an active case against Sean. She goes,
that is not what he said.
He goes, okay, what did he say?
He did not say there was an active case. He said, you better get away from Jen Shaw because she's going to prison.
Okay. Well, I mean, tomato. You know what I mean?
And her ratings are terrible. And
she's old.
So Andy's like, well, how did you go from there to being an informant? She goes,
well, girl, I talked to federal investigators.
And he's like, did you reach out to them? She's like,
I did, girl. I said, your organization is stupid and dusty and old. You haven't found a criminal in like 45 years. You need a feisty, excommunicated Latina right now. Oh, God.
It's like, you guys, nobody trusts your organization anymore. You really need some fresh blood. Like, the FBI is like so old and tired and stupid, and everybody hates it.
Yeah, you lost a lot of credibility with all those warnings on VHS tapes. So, come on, you need some help.
And he's like, so you did reach out to them? And she goes,
yes. And I was like, I have info about your case. I did that. I call that doing the right thing. And I think that everyone here should have probably done the right thing too.
She makes like this smug face.
I love when she tries to take a moral high ground. So then Andy asks how her famous affair started, which then leads to another Monica monologue / deflection because she never actually answers this question. I'll let you take this one, Ronnie, because every time I do Monica's voice, I feel like my insides are going to fall out.
They probably are. And probably dogs in everyone's neighborhood are barking like crazy. Oh, for both of us. So Andy's like, so, we want to know when the affair with your brother-in-law started. And she's like,
okay, well, first of all, I need to start by saying that happened like over a decade ago. And as far as everyone here, especially Heather, has had very deep conversations with me about how painful that was. And you guys, you guys were wonderful. So thank you. Love you guys. I'm so glad to be part of this sisterhood. But anyway, it's not about bragging about having an affair or being excommunicated, because I had a scarlet letter and I still do. I was rebaptized. I went through the whole rebaptism process in the church.
well,
How did it start?
Earned it. Like, what do you want me to say? And then Heather's like, yeah, I mean, she really did cry when we talked about it because it really is unfair. This is kind of my wheelhouse, and I've written a book. So I'm not really sure if you guys have heard of it. Bad Mormon. HarperCollins, out now.
Yeah, her friend said that you read the Bible every single day. I'm like, you guys, this is fine. How did the affair start? I want to know how this happened.
Okay, let me tell you how the affair started. They kicked me out of Mormonism, and then I wrote them an email, and I was like, your church sucks, and your membership numbers are shit, and Mormonism is going to get canceled because it's old and ugly.
Girl.
So Andy's like, are you in touch with the former brother-in-law? And she's like, no. And he asked if like the brothers are strange, and it's like it wasn't like her ex's brother, it was her ex's sister's brother, etc. And
he goes, well, that's better.
It is.
Well, that it didn't fully destroy a family. I guess.
I mean,
I guess that's
it was it was the brother's sister's husband. How did it not?
Well, because if it had been the brother's brother,
I'm very bad at family trees, though.
The reason why it's better is that, like, if it had been the brother's brother, then you have an issue between family, okay. But if it was also the in-law of the brother, then it's like, well, the brother and the sister both drop their spouses and they, persevere onwards as happy siblings. I don't know. That's my take.
Yeah, Monica, another interesting thing about her was that she was with the husband, I guess, for a long time after this. So I guess he did forgive her, or they got back together after this, because they filed divorce like 4 years after they got married. But then she just filed again in June of 2023, and it just finalized this October, which was a couple months ago, this past October.
It feels so long ago. I mean, at the beginning of the season, I seem to remember Monica saying, like, I was with this guy, and then we got divorced, then we got back together, and it just seems like all those details that felt like, were going to be so important to know throughout the whole season. It's just like they just fell by the wayside because there were such bigger things, But the affair, of course, is part of that. We held on to that, but it's hard to remember all the way back to that first episode. But anyway, Andy's basically like, listen, give yourself a little bit of grace. You didn't fully destroy a family. And Monica's like, she starts saying how, like, everyone's hearing about it for the first time, and it's just crazy, and I'm reliving it, and I'm constantly being called a whore online. Like, comments are really nasty. They're just nasty. They're just wild, these comments. Which she doesn't realize the irony of her saying this whatsoever.
Hello there. This is a 2-part recap, okay? This is the end of part 1. So thank you so much for listening to this. Just come back a little later for part 2.
Watch What Crappens would like to thank its premium sponsors. Ain't no thing like Allison King.
Ashley Savoni, she don't take no baloney.
Strolling the park with Caitlin Clark.
She's not just a Sheila, she's a Daniela. Itchels. Aaron McNicholas, she don't miss no trickolas.
She's never scary, it's the Green Fairy.
Jamie, she has no last namey.
Hava Nagila Weber. Know Your Worth with Jason Kurth.
She's the wind beneath our Jennifer Wing.
Sip some scotch with Jessica Trotch.
She's always supplying, it's Kelly Ryan.
Kristen the Piston Anderson. Let's give a kisserino to Lisa Lino. Megan Berg. You can't have a burger without the Berg.
The Bay Area Betches.
And our super premium sponsors.
Somebody get us 10 cc's of Betsy MD.
We're taking the gold with Brenda Silva.
Let's get real with Caitlin O'Neill.
Don't get salty with Christine Pepper. Can't have a meal without the Emily Sides.
Nobody holds a candle to Jamie Kendall.
She's not harsh, she's Jill Hirsch.
She's a little bit loony. Junie. My favorite Murdo, Karen McMurdo. We love him madly, it's Kyle Pod Shadley.
Let's go on a bender with Lauren Fender. We want to hang with Liz Lang. The incredible edible Matthews sisters.
Give him hell, Miss Noel.
She's the queen bee, it's Sarah Lemke.
Shannon, out of a cannon, Anthony. Let's take off with Tamla Plain.
She's quite the catch, it's Victoria Cotchett.
She ain't no shrinking Violet Kuchar. We love you guys.
Hey, Prime members, you can listen to Watch What Crappens ad-free on Amazon Music. Download the Amazon Music app today. Or you can listen ad-free with Wondery Plus in Apple Podcasts. Before you go, tell us about yourself by completing a short survey at Wondery.com/survey.